Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Well, deja vu, alive and well. Once again, Arkansas finds a way to to lose another close game. Yeah, I hope some of you picked up on the sarcasm of the thumbnail. I realize I'm going to piss off a few, probably some old folks on Facebook. They're going to be a little mad. But you know, whatever. This is, man, I know, like many of you, I am. I'm very, very much prepared to move. Get out of 2025. Yeah, man, I'm over this. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I have a job to do, being a fan, you know, and also doing what I do. I can't be. You know, I'm supposed to be as realistic about the situation and unbiased, try to be, but man, it's just I don't know. It's just getting old watching this unfold. I mean, it's like we knew as soon as that first fumble. It's like that first fumble, boom, right there was in your head. Yeah, they're gonna lose. And you shouldn't be shocked. I get that. It is you got an interim head coach and. You know, these guys aren't really playing for anything. I guess they were trying to play for the trophy today, but realistically, what are they playing for anymore, right? I mean, just to look good on tape. That's all this is. And listen, I thought the defense for the most part, you know, considering the mistakes the offense made, some of the silly turnovers, the difficult positions we continue to put the defense in week and week out. I thought they played well. I mean, I really do. I don't think, again, this feels like once again we're putting this on the offense and not, you know, does the defense have blame? Yeah, they've got blame. I mean, where do you begin really on both sides of the ball? It's just, Kirk Hanna says, I'm tired, boss. Yeah, it's exhausting watching Arkansas play. Because, again, it's like you know how this is going to unfold and you know it early. You know it early. What's going to happen? You know they're going to fold. You know they're going to find a way to lose another damn game. They do it week in and week out. So again, like I've said, listen. I want Quincy Rhodes to go make money. I want him to play his ass off, and maybe he can find his way into the tail end of the first round. Like that's kind of what I'm. That's just, you know, I said this weeks ago. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for players to make money. Congratulations, man. Go out there and go get some cheddar. Go get some paper. Because we know they damn sure this team, it's not Quincy Rhodes' fault. It's not Mike Washington's fault. As a team, they're not playing for shit. So, again, that's not Rhodes' fault. That's not, you know. You can't really put it on any one guy. It's just like collectively they don't know how to win. They are as allergic to winning as I've ever seen, as I stated in Discord. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. 100% on the offense is J-Dog. It's turnovers. It's just more of the same. So, yeah, I'm watching them like individually. I'm like, all right, Quincy Rhodes, Quincy Rhodes looks the part at times. He looks the part, right? Cam Ball had some pretty decent moments. Xavier Sori had a couple of good moments when he wasn't missing. I thought I saw him miss a couple of tackles. I thought Carmona looked a little rough today, which has not been very common for him. That's really about all I'm looking for anymore. Because again, you just kind of know how this thing's going to unfold, right? It's going to be an L one way or another. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for being here. I realize so many people have let go of the rope, and it's real easy to do. All things considered, it's real easy to do. But I do appreciate you guys for coming through. Make sure you do the trifecta, right? Like, share, and comment. I don't know. Maybe it's not just 3. Like, share, subscribe, comment if you got any questions or whatever. Arky56, what's up, Pops? That's old Daddy-O right there. Turnovers and not kicking that field goal and Green throwing more interceptions again is why we lost. Well, he said that in all caps. He said that in all caps. Arky56 is he's just not having it. Old Pops. I know he's going to call me as soon as this is over. Taylor Green is trash. He isn't intelligent enough to play quarterback. Bench his ass is Devin Anderson. Oh man, tried to map out some of the opening plays, things that were happening. Arkansas's opening drive, the Hogs, they're averaging over 7 yards per play, and on the final play of the drive, Bobby Petrino dials up a lone back pitch. Quarterback's under center, and he turns around and he just pitches it to the running back where he just runs it between the guard and center. I've never been a fan of that play. I've never liked that play. Just hand the damn ball off. Why are you pitching it? Why are you risking it? On third down, and it was fumbled. It was fumbled because of course it was. Of course it was. And they do it again later on, and it resulted in a negative play. Anyways, following drive, LSU has the ball. Second play, backup quarterback throws right to number 16 on defense, Mitchell, and he drops the pick. There were like 2. I saw 2 drop picks. Someone in Discord said it was more like 3. I don't know. Regardless, it's just more of the same, like missed opportunities on defense. Hogs did score off of a punt block. I don't know the last time they've done that. I don't know the last time they blocked a punt and returned it for a touchdown. We need Hog stats. We need that number up ASAP. I'm actually kind of curious about that. The following drive by LSU, the Hogs defense again forced another 3 and out, which was followed up by a bad punt, giving Arkansas a great field possession, which I think, yeah. Well, hold on, lost the rest of it there. Pretty sure that was a drive that ended up Arkansas scoring, but it was like 50 yards, but it took 11 plays to go 50 yards and score. Regardless, we know they had a 14-point lead. Yeah, there was a play a couple series later. I think this is towards maybe the tail end of the first quarter. Taylor Green on 3rd and 2 on LSU's side of the field misses a wide open C.J. Brown, and he overthrew Brown like twice. I do kind of wonder if there's some miscommunication because some of them are just Green throwing a bad ball. I agree. Some of them are just Green not delivering a clean ball. And then other times it's just, there's not something's wrong here. The receiver either running the wrong route, giving up on the route. Later on, Omega Blake gives up on a route and it results in an interception. I mean, I rewatched that replay like 3 times. He clearly gave up at the tail end of that route. Now I know it's going to be people that are just so anti-Green, they're going to put that on Green. But I'm telling you, I watched that replay. He clearly gave up at the end of that route. And it resulted in a pick. Whatever. I don't give a damn. You could, whatever you think, whatever I think, I don't care. Regardless, this is another game that comes down to these little moments that happen at any point, whether it be early on or later on, that Arkansas just cannot overcome as a team. They just can't. Not that they ever really win the turnover battle, but boy, when they lose the turnover battle, it's like 99% guaranteed they're going to lose. And I noted here on 3rd and 1, Green with another lone back turnaround pitch, and it ends up with losing yardage. Same drive, 4th and 1, coming out of an LSU timeout. Green with the play fake, and he finds tight end Platt for a big inside grab or a throw there. It was a good throw and a good catch by Platt. I'm telling you, if we're trying to put together a list of players we would like to see return Platt would be on my list. Rohan is out of he's out of eligibility. Platt's, I think, got 2 years, I think. They had 2 Arkansas on offense. There was some bright side. There was some hindsight there, or there was some positivity. On the same drive, they converted 2 fourth downs. I don't think they've done that all year. And to be honest, I don't know how many teams have actually done that. That's pretty impressive. Second quarter offense was atrocious until the final drive in the second quarter. Arkansas, in the second quarter alone, I'm not talking about the first. Obviously, they had more yardage in the first. They had just 8 total yards of offense. Just 8 total yards of offense. And then that final drive, they got more. But second quarter, they just got completely, and it's what I said in live chat and Discord. What I said in the halftime show in Discord. They really, because LSU was able to contain the run, they're able to contain Green. I don't know what they were doing in the secondary to throw the receivers off. Again, I don't know if that was the crowd too loud. Maybe Green was hot routing these guys and they were on the wrong page. I don't know, but you turn Arkansas into an offense that's forced to throw the ball. It's strange because kind of early on they could fight their way out of it. They could kind of pick defenses apart. But lately, I think really it's because you're playing a more competent defenses with more talent, and you're seeing him get exposed more. You're seeing Green get exposed a little more because they actually got to play. Listen, LSU defensively, personnel-wise, is probably one of the top, 4 talent-wise defenses in the SEC, maybe top 3. I mean, we know they can stockpile talent on defense. And they don't – I think they give up, 18, 19 points a game, right? So you know that, this is going to get tougher, and you're in their house. Regardless if it's during the day or night, for Arkansas, it doesn't really matter. LSU's just, they've got the home crowd, and even though they weren't as into it, because obviously LSU's not much better, they just fired their coach. They got an interim coach. They switched to a backup quarterback. I don't know how many people showed up to that game, but they clearly weren't super loud, but it's still a somewhat hostile environment. And so I don't know. I mean, we could kind of pick all that apart, but lately, Arkansas, you take away the run game and you slowly kind of abandon the run. It exposes their offense because they are meant to run the ball. They are meant to get the run going that opens up the rest of Bobby's offense, and it was that way when he was here the first time, by the way, which is why he always had good running backs. It's why he was able to turn Michael Smith, 3-star running back out of Florida, who was behind McFadden, Hillis, and Jones for all those years. Well, not that long, because I think he was he a sophomore Bobby's first year, or was he a redshirt freshman? No, he was a sophomore. But he had 1,000 yards. There's a reason why. You have to have a running back. You have to have a run game, and you need someone else besides Green to kind of take that load off and create a separate target for the defense to worry about. And Washington, they got back into that in the third quarter, and you saw their offense slowly start to kind of pick itself back up again because they could establish the run. And then Green was able to run a little bit more once Washington kind of got going a little bit. And then it opens up the rest of the offense. That's the way this thing is. It's the way it operates. You take away Green's ability to run. You contain the running backs. Of course, Russell wasn't available today. You take away Washington or limit him to where he's not much of a threat. You can have success against this offense. And then the offensive line was losing some one-on-one battles. Carmona and right tackle was at Harris. Was Harris at right tackle today? I'm pretty sure he was. Harris was getting beat out on the right in one-on-one battles. He always does. Harris, I think that was Harris over there, but that right tackle spot has just been strange. They just have not been able to nail that spot down. It's kind of strange, too, that it's not supposed to be that difficult to get that right tackle spot going. It's typically the left side of the line of scrimmage, left tackle, right? But, so it's just it was a perfect storm once again. Arkansas turnovers, Taylor Green, lights just too bright. It's the same thing every single week, guys. It's like we're just watching reruns every single weekend, and it's so old and stale. I'm just tired of it. I'm just so ready for this to all move on, get whoever the hell the head coach is in place, and let's get to rocking and rolling. Let's assemble a staff, Let's hit the recruiting trails. Let's get to it, man. Let's put the Pittman era completely behind us. There were some highs, not really high, but there was at least 1 year, yay, you beat Texas Tech in a bowl game, last year. Yay. Okay, cool. Everything else was just disappointment and and this year's just kind of a collection of everything, right? Oh, man. And, of course, we knew how the fourth quarter was going to go, right? I mean, we knew it, man. We knew it. There might have been a shred of hope deep down. You're like, there's a little bit of hope there. But Arkansas finds a way to, stomp that out. I improved the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, brother. What difference does it make whether or not Hunter Yurchek waits till Mizzou game to name new head coach? Our program is dead on arrival. As fans, we're desperate for good news. Well, listen, Prue, I disagree that no, you need to get it named. You need to get the guy named now. You need to have an advantage going into December. While everybody else is getting their head coach in place, and the head coach is trying to assemble a staff and everything, and they're reaching out to maybe some of the same people you're reaching out to, right? You want to be ahead of that. You want to be able to go out and grab this coordinator or that position coach or whatever, right? I mean, you want to be in front of all these other teams for sure. Listen, I think if Ole Miss can have the kind of success they're having with Kiffin, if Texas Tech, I know they've got a billionaire oil guy, but let's not sit here and pretend like Arkansas doesn't have some wealth behind them as well. It may not be oil money, but they got a little bit of everything here, whether it be retail money, vendor money, whatever. They've got some people, chicken money, right? If Texas Tech could turn it around, if these teams can turn it around, I don't buy that. I don't think they're DOA. They just need to get someone that everyone gets excited about, and then everyone collectively get behind that guy, and let's balloon up the NIL. Let's get to that 20 or 21 and a half, whatever it is. Let's not have any issues there. Let's have this all in place, and let's rock and roll. That's what we need to be doing, damn it. That's what – I don't know about this Franklin news, and frankly, I'm tired of talking about Franklin. It sounds to me like we're in his rearview mirror. I don't know, but I'm sick and tired of losing, and I'm tired of not knowing what's next. To be fair, no one really knows what's next. Several teams. A lot of teams in the same position Arkansas is in. Forced terrorists to be Hog fans. Says T-Dub, no waterboarding needed. God, I don't even know if I should be reading this out loud, T-Dub. Am I about to get, is YouTube coming for me here? No, I can't even say the word I want to say because that's a bad, it starts with a T and rhymes with courture. But he also talks about waterboarding. They will tell all their secrets to stop the agony. Also, TG is who he has been. You can count on TG to not win the games. His stats mean squat. Well, I mean, I don't fully agree with that, but I don't fully disagree with it either. I think, yeah, I mean, he is turnover Talon. I mean, that's it. That is who he is. As far as the mechanics and everything that he wasn't able to do at Boise, he's doing here. I mean, he's improved in his passing game. It just didn't look like it today. And there are people that believe he's actually playing injured. I think if that is true, why not just put in KJ? TG is an athletic Ben Hicks. I said it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Again, Tim, I think your hatred of Green is you've got Talon Green derangement syndrome. I hear you. Listen. I've said it before, and I took so much shit for it. I took so much shit for it. I said that he does not have the clutch gene. He's going to turn the ball over. He's not going to win those games. He's a double-edged sword. But it is. I mean, he's also put Arkansas in positions to win games. Early on, it was the defense that just couldn't get anything done. Kopesky says Golish or Summerall will change the culture on day one. Speaking of Golish, Did you guys check the scores today? I don't know who to be excited about. If they're not going to get Franklin, I don't know who to be excited about. I'm not saying I can't be. I'm not saying that I can't get excited about. Like it's right now. I guess because of that huge question mark of who you're going to get. I guess because of that. I don't know. When he wins games, Taylon Green derangement syndrome will be cured. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. Like I said several weeks ago, I think it was after Arkansas' second loss. Even when Pittman was here, I said, "Listen, we're watching 2-10 play out." So we're watching 2-10 play out, and that has been the case since then. Guys, I don't think they're not going to win another game. Okay, they're not going to win another game. They don't know how to win. They're so allergic to winning. It's like they break out in hives. Everyone gets the hives on the sidelines. They're like, "Oh shoot, we're it's the fourth quarter." Like they don't know how to do it. They're allergic to it. When that W is upon them, they find a way to run it off. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. We lost close games under Pittman. We are still losing close games under Bobby Pete. That is correct. They are. I guess it goes back to that thing you guys keep telling me about with culture. I guess it's just a culture of losing. If TG rides the bench, we would probably score 70. Oh, come on, Dan. I know you're being funny. There ain't no way. I like KJ. KJ Jackson, I think has a promising future if he gets in the right offense, which I think could be this offense, but I don't think he's going to be here next year. I guess it depends on who you hire, but I don't know. Van Buren looked pretty good today, didn't he? You're not surprised by that. Backup quarterback looking all right. At least he didn't look like a Heisman. But he did look like an all-conference caliber quarterback. 21 of 31 for 221 yards. With a passing touchdown, a rating of 138.3. Thomas caught 6 catches for them for 80 yards. He caught 6 of his 7 targets. They had 144 yards after catch today. That's always wonderful. Brown, 3 catches for 44 yards. He caught 3 of 5 targets. And Durham, listen, I thought Arkansas did fairly well against LSU's run game. Durham was held to 65 yards off 12 carries. That's still north of 5 yards. It's about 5.5 yards a carry, and he did have a touchdown. His longest run from the line of scrimmage was 27. Van Buren's 35-yard run there in the end was a killer. That was a killer. But he had 10 carries, so that one run put him at 36 yards off a 35-yard run. That one run put him in positive yardage on the ground. Let's see. On defense, they sacked Taylon Green 4 times. I don't know about their quarterback hurry number does not make sense. It says 1 on the stat broadcast. There's no way that's right, obviously. But 8 TFLs, 4 sacks on Taylon Green. They were I'm telling you, LSU was eating. They were eating up front. Their front 7 looked pretty fast. As they are. And they've even got some injuries on defense, right? And they're still looking pretty stout. Arkansas again held to 22 points. Taylon Green, just not a good day, man. 11 of 19, 165 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns through the air. Sharp, 4 of 6, 4 catches off 6 targets, 65 yards. Crutchfield had a really nice 26-yard sideline grab. It's good to see him. I just wish we would have seen that sooner. And then Washington, once again, averages over 6 yards a carry, 13 carries. 13 carries for 85 yards and a touchdown. 6.5 yards per carry. Taylon Green, 17 carries, 70 yards with a 55-yard run and a touchdown. And then, defensively, 8 TFLs today for Arkansas, which I kind of thought they would do well. I mean, they've got Arkansas at 4 sacks. Sorey, Dix, Shaw, and Boone. Pretty sure. Where's he at? Quincy Rhodes will probably get credit for at least 2 hurries tomorrow, 1 or 2 hurries. He was held a lot. I mean, guys, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He was held. Cam Ball was. They were both held quite a bit. I mean, I really think Rhodes could have had a bigger impact. I think they did catch the LSU offensive lineman on one of them, but he was held a lot. I mean, that's about the only way you're going to completely take Rhodes out of a situation like that. You just got to hold him. But he did end up with a TFL, and they do right now. They have him credit for 1 QB hurry, but I think that number might change, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, again, Arkansas. They disappear in the second quarter. Where'd all my numbers go? They disappear in the second quarter. They do make things interesting later on. Team stats wise here. Trying to pull up, everything's kind of frozen on me here. Arkansas held to 300 no, hold on, that ain't right. No, that is right. 340 yards. Okay, I felt like they had more. I would have guessed about 410 or something, but 340 yards. This is I think only the 3rd time this year they've been outgained. LSU with 390 yards of offense. So it just is what it is. 3 turnovers to none. And you still only lost by a point. That's the craziest thing. That's the craziest thing. This team, it's always if only they'd done this one thing. Had they not done this one thing, they win this game. But again, this isn't a game chock full of crazy penalties. Both teams around the same amount of penalty yardage. Arkansas with 6 penalties for 55 yards and LSU 7 for 57. Again, it's just the turnovers. It's the fumble and the 2 picks. What else can you say? It's just more of the same every week. More of the same. I'm just so tired. I'm over it, man. Let's just move on. Name this freaking coach, man. I hope the Missouri week rumors were true, but again, this news has changed so much in the last 24 hours. 48 hours. 100% on Taylor Green, 2 interceptions, and the pitch was horrible. Well, one of those interceptions, Chris, was not on him, but yeah. No, he did not look great. And again, that just should not surprise. Absolutely, it should surprise anybody. It's and this is what we discussed on Monday Night Lights 2-3 weeks ago. I said, look, their numbers are going to drop. All these great offensive numbers, all this stuff that we're so excited about. It's because they've played the not as good defenses in the SEC. Now that you're in the thick of it here, right? I mean, your Auburn is better on defense than just about anybody you'd played up until that point on defense, right? Obviously, Auburn's a shit show, but you only score 24 on them. You do manage to score 35 on Mississippi State. They're improved on defense. I don't know if they're necessarily as good or better than some of those early SEC teams on defense, but you do score 35 there. But then LSU, you score 22 points. How many points do you think they score against Texas next week? How many points do you think they score in Texas? I don't know, man. How much offense do they have? I'd be willing to say they're going to be under all their averages from here moving forward. I don't know about Missouri. Maybe Missouri you can find a way. At least that one's in Fayetteville. Checking the scoreboard here really quick. We have Oklahoma's on top of Alabama right now, 10-7. That's in Tuscaloosa, isn't it? 10-7. Texas Tech 21-0 on UCF. These are the top 25. Georgia Tech 14-7 on top of Boston, who's 1-9. Georgia Tech's just they're about to head to halftime, and it's 14-7. Iowa on top of USC. Let's see. Miami's just beating the crap out of NC State. Tennessee and New Mexico State just started. And we've got Florida and Ole Miss at 6 o'clock tonight. Who cares? I mean, I say that. You never know. That game it's Florida and Ole Miss. That could get interesting. But no, Ole Miss should win it. I mean, but never say never. UCLA, who beat Penn State a little while back, they've got Ohio State. And then the big one tonight, you got Texas and Georgia. Texas and Georgia later tonight. Yeah, Texas A&M. What a second half for Texas A&M. Holy crap. I've said their defense is sus. South Carolina went up. They scored 30 points in the first half, and then they were completely shut out in the second half. I mean, that's just some great coaching right there. And they win 31-30. Again, South Carolina's 3-7. I thought they were overrated. I didn't think they were this bad. They are not good. Notre Dame beat Pitt 37-15. Michigan barely escaped Northwestern 24-22. South Florida, speaking of some head coaching targets, loses to Navy 41-38, and then Arizona managed to beat number 25 Cincinnati 30-24. Oh, and Clemson Louisville was kind of crazy, 20-19. Clemson takes that one. Ty, can we just lobby the state to ban football in Arkansas? There's zero hope for this program with Franklin giving us the finger. Yeah. I mean, I get the feeling. I understand. I get the frustration, but obviously without football, you don't have anything else. Nothing else is going to bring in that kind of money. Hero Blake wants to know who we going to get. No one. We are keeping Bobby. We had an interesting update on Bobby today, actually. From Courtney Mims. I'll get in trouble if I say it here, so I'm not going to say it here, but it's nothing crazy, but interesting. Bot Magnet says that defense looked tired in the fourth. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have depth. You know, when you don't have quality depth, right? Hero Blake says, let's talk some basketball. What did you think about last night, Ty? I'm glad you asked that, actually. I did do a post game, obviously, but I did watch the entire game and was trying to pull up the numbers here. A little bit concerned here against Samford. I don't want to go into too much. You know, I get it. I didn't do a post game, so I kind of owe some of my thoughts here. I was kind of trying to think about like keeping some of this to Monday night, but Samford ended up with only one less rebound than Arkansas, 38-37 boards. Yeah. They shot well at the free throw line. Samford did to make this interesting. And of course, they did what we knew they were going to do. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. They shot almost 30 threes. They shot 29, in which they made 34% of. They made it interesting. And again, those backdoor cutters, I've complained about this, and this is something that's caught my eye since preseason. Man, sometimes the play is just too easy to the rim. And then when they're positioned right, when you've got Pringle in there and Brazil in there and they're positioned right, like, yeah, they're going to play you to the ball. But it seems like sometimes they're either out of position or there's just a lack of what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, a lack of physicality. Could this be a problem? And only beating these guys, again, you beat them in size. They had one 6'10" player on that floor. They had one. And between Pringle, who had one rebound, Brazil did have 7, to be fair, and he had 15 points. I damn near would have wanted to give him the gold chain, but it would obviously end up going to would have gone to Acuff. 20 points, 7 of 13. He was 4 of 5. He even had 3 boards, 5 assists, just 2 turnovers, and he had a couple of offensive boards too, which is huge. But yeah, Malik Ewan didn't, he only played 8 minutes, but he had no rebounds. I really expected Malik Ewan to play a bigger role by this point. Pringle in terms of getting boards, like I want to see more consistency out of this guy. When he plays physical, damn, that dude could play around the rim. It's just kind of off and on with him, there is some concern here. Loved what I saw out of Sealy. What did he get, 2-3 minutes? He didn't get a lot of time, but it's like when he's on the floor, I'm watching him on the floor. I just love the way that dude plays. There's some concerns. I do like that you had a couple of guys come off the bench and be, of course, Brazil. We knew he would. He played 23 minutes off the bench, 15 points. Billy Richmond, by the way. Richmond played great last night. 4 offensive boards, 10 points, a block, a steal, turned the ball over only once. The assist to turnover numbers, pretty good, 13-9. I don't have a problem with that. That's pretty good. It's not great. That's okay. You're +4 in that category, so would like to, when they move the ball more, either in the paint, around the post, or outside. When they get more ball movement, they don't even have to pick and roll. They don't even, you feel pretty confident if they're going to try and take an outside shot, or excuse me, not an outside shot. If they want to shoot from mid-range, or if they want to, finish at the rim, and they weren't great at that, but for the most part this year, they've been pretty good in those two categories. I'm loving that they have some mid-range game, and it's not just like one guy. They've got a couple of cats that can knock down the mid-range, actually probably 2 or 3. Again, 17 and 22 at the line, at the charity stripe, 77% there. They did shoot 35%. You're getting into green territory then. But it's not great. It's not great. Again, 17 is below your average in three-point in three-point attempts this year. So I'd like that number actually to be like 42%, because you only took 17, not 22, not 23, 24. You took 17. You made 6. I'd like that to be like maybe 10 of 17, or 9 of 17, not 6 of 17. I like that number to go further north percentage-wise in terms of made shots outside. But they did shoot 45% overall from the field. I mean, listen, Arkansas, they're already tough to beat in Bud Walton. Even when the crowd isn't super into it, they're still just they're better at home, as it should be, right? But, yeah, there are some concerns, and they got to get some stuff cleaned up. And I have not had a chance to listen to Coach Cal. I need to actually – that's on my list of things to do either tonight or tomorrow. They've got Winthrop coming up on the 18th in Jackson State, and then they've got Duke. They got the big one on the 27th. That's the big one. That's the big daddy right there. And you play Louisville right after that, right? So, anyways, yeah, we changed the subject. It's kind of funny. Change the subject, and yeah, okay. I've been officially diagnosed with PTSD from being a Hog fan, says Tim. Arizona Tim. I got your helmet behind me. You can't really see it, but it's back there. I put it back in the frame. You could see it if you look down. We got the chrome dome back in there. Johnny Jones says Brazil is a mediocre Hunter Mickerson. Oh, man. Hoping the women basketball does better with new coach. I'm going to be real. I haven't watched them play at all this year. I've only kind of kept up with the scores. What's up, Philip? How you doing, man? I do need to watch them play, though. Camo Gang says, are playing basketball off the vibes and energy. What? It's no longer Kentucky problems. It's our Cal has not won a natty without his X's and O's guy. Y'all not remembering losing to Hofstra. That team went to the Elite Eight, says John Calipari's GOAT. Yeah. So I just think he's too tall and weak and need another physical big who doesn't foul. Again, that's going to be on Pringle and Ewan, right? That's why you brought those guys here. Women playing Texas Tech tomorrow. Are they really? Hold on, the women are 4-0? I'll be damned. The women are 4-0. I thought they had only played like their second or third game. They're 4-0 on the year. I mean, I know they're right there with the men's in terms of like scheduling. Haven't heard much from them. They haven't been on my feed in a while. I just kind of assume they've only played like 3 games. They're 4-0. And they got to play at Texas Tech tomorrow, 2 p.m. Damn, that might be worth watching. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. Just see it. I didn't even know we played last night. Well, Johnny, come on now. Don't be the bandwagon hoops fan. How'd you not know they played last night, Johnny? Come on. It's basketball season. Even though they may not be off to the start we want them to be, they're still they were within 1 possession of making Michigan State go into overtime in East Lansing, by the way. So, yeah, we'll get prepared for Winthrop. We'll talk about that game on Monday night. Again, Monday Night Lights will be back 6:30 p.m. Well, I mean, it's not gone anywhere, but hopefully I'll have Tim or Travis with me Monday night. If not, it may be another solo show, but I'll be ready to rock and roll. Hopefully we have some more coaching news, something to discuss there, and of course we'll get ready for Winthrop. And, again, I don't know if I'm going to do post games for both Winthrop and Jackson State this week, on Tuesday and Friday. I don't know if I'm going to do both those, but yeah, any of the big games, Duke, Louisville, Fresno State could be interesting. Texas Tech, Houston, I will absolutely be available for post games for those. So, hire Greenwood's head coach, says Todd Drake. Earthman says Arkansas not making the NCAA tournament. Earthman is either an extremely pessimistic, very reactionary Arkansas fan, or that's just a troll Kentucky fan. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes. Put the women's basketball team on the football field, he says. Judd, you're on to something, my man. Yeah, I'm ready to put this bullshit behind us. Tired of these close losses. Tired of losing. Wanted it for them. The one thing you could probably look back on, or something to have, I don't know, moral victory or not, would be to say, hey, well, at least we got the golden boot back, I guess, beating LSU down in Baton Rouge. But no, even when they've got an interim coach and they're shit, you still can't beat them. Another SEC team you can't beat when the cards are down on both of you, you just still can't beat them. So, yay. Yay, Arkansas football in the SEC. Yay. Anywho, all right. I'll be back on Monday. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. I don't know. I think I'm going to run to Open Door Cigar in Fayetteville and go buy me a dark cigar and drink some whiskey and, I don't know, watch some more football, I guess. Play some Arc Raiders. Tired of this. Oh, I'm tired of this, damn it. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday. 6:30, be here.